Today I am going to share with you 3 transformative life lessons I learned from an amazing person, Father Roland. He inspired me every day in his words, in the way he went about his work, in his faith. He blessed me in more ways than I can count. He was God's gift to me and so many others. If I had the power to declare one person saint, it would be him, Father Roland Fialo. Gosh, the impact he had on lives was transformative. Lesson 1. If you know your purpose in life, nothing can stop you. I once received a text message which asked, what would you do if you knew that you had just 48 hours to live? Maybe binge that Netflix series you haven't finished yet, or eat the biggest burger, or throw a party for your friends. But Jesus, knowing that he had just 48 hours or a few hours left, he bent down and washed the feet of his disciples. In fact, Father Roland followed in the footsteps of Jesus. The doctors told him that he had 48 hours to live. No doubt he lived for another 30 months after that. Yet, every time he went to the hospital for a chemo or to meet his doctor, even though he was in pain, he would carry in his bag that he put across his shoulder pamphlets with words of encouragement and prayers, which he would distribute there to the ill or to the terminally ill. He would sit and he would talk to them. He would pray with them. He would make them smile. In fact, he did this to the very end. Why? Because he knew his purpose. His purpose was to bring glory to God. And one of the ways to do that for him was to put a smile on the faces of the children of God. Lesson 2. Little sacrifices can go a long way. In the seminary, we have a break between lectures at 10:45. And on one such day, I saw 2 people walk in, a mother and a child. Looking at the child, you knew that something was wrong. She was very sad, or at least she looked. And they were there to meet Father Roland. The receptionist helped them up. And I came to know towards the end of the day that the mother had brought the girl to meet Father Roland. In fact, I met them again. I met them again in the evening at 5:45. Father Roland had just spent 7 hours continuously with his child. The difference, when she came in, she was sad. And I saw her walk out. She was bubbling with joy. He sat there with her, skipping his meals, even though he was unwell. Now you might say, yeah, that's a small thing, just one meal. But yes, it is these small things that make a big difference in lives of people. In fact, you must try it. Maybe at home, you could drop your phone or your TV and just spend time looking at the person and talking to them. Maybe appreciate someone. Just say a thank you to a family member who really cares for you. Say, I love you. You could do so many small things, maybe by surprising someone with a gift, because these small sacrifices go a long way. In fact, I remember the words of Jesus here where he says to his disciples, if any one of them gives you a glass of water because you belong to me, they would not have lost their reward. Small things in the eyes of Jesus count for a lot, and small sacrifices have great value. Lesson 3. You may be in pain, but you don't have to suffer. 3 weeks before Father Roland passed away, I went to his room for spiritual direction. And as I was sitting there, I asked him, how are you, Father? And he just put his hands up with a big smile on his face. And I asked him, what does that mean? I don't understand it. And he said, the doctors have given up. And I was amazed looking at him. I asked him, Father, is there pain? How are you smiling this much? And he told me this statement that I wrote down in my book. You may be in pain, but you don't have to suffer. What did he mean? Pain is a physical symptom, but your suffering is your interpretation or the story you tell yourself about that pain. He was so amazing that he told me that his pain he offers up every time he celebrates the Eucharist for the suffering of another person, that they may find redemption. It is so amazing to just understand that, because I realize that we may go through so many different kinds of pains in our life. but the Eucharist is our hope. We can take our pain, we can take our illness to the Eucharist and offer our pain up there with that of the Lord for the redemption of someone else. These are just 3 things that I am sharing with you today because my production team has told me to share only 3. But there are so many more. There are so many happy memories. Over 2 years that I spent with him, I have learned so much from him. He's brought so much joy to my life. I'm sure that he's brought a lot of joy to your life as well. So in case you have any memories that you want to share about Father Roland, please mention them down in the comments below and we'll try and find a way to put them out there. Also, do not forget, share this video with as many people as you can and click the subscribe button and the bell icon in the side so that you are notified every time we put out a video. Until I see you again, God bless, take care, see you soon.